Hey, Roberto Monaco here with the Cairo Speaking podcast. And today I have a guy who has more energy than I have. It's hard to believe, Mr. Bharon Hoag. What's up, buddy? How you doing?
Living the dream, my friend. Thank you so much for the opportunity to talk to your tribe.
Of course. We're going to have a lot of fun. I was watching one of your videos this morning on Facebook, and I was blown away by the impact that you guys in your organization right now are having. Baron has been around chiropractic for 26 years, helping the industry. He has a company called One Chiropractic, we're going to be talking about. But then within One Chiropractic, he has a huge project we call the CDC. I'm talking about the good CDC, which Chiropractic Defense Council. So can you tell me quickly, talk a little bit about One Chiropractic and this project that you're having currently worldwide impact, the Chiropractic Defense Council?
Yeah, absolutely. And thank you again for the opportunity. So as you said, I'm starting into my 27th year in the profession of chiropractic. I'm not a chiropractor. I like to be clear because there's a lot of confusion sometimes, and I never want to misrepresent myself. But I have the heart of a chiropractor. I have owned clinics. I have consulted for a lot of years. I was the executive director of the Ohio State Chiropractic Association for 6 years, served on national executive committees on national organizations. So I've literally done everything there is to do in the profession with the exception of adjusting. So I get it. My heart is 100% pure. My daughter's in chiropractic school right now. My son will be headed to chiropractic school in a couple of years. So we're all in as a family. My personal life mission is to make chiropractic the number one healthcare choice in the world. And so I've been trying to find ways to do that. So in 2016, we started One Chiropractic as a 501c6 nonprofit. We really started it because of a quote that I fell in love with from Buckminster Fuller that said, you cannot change an existing reality by fighting it. You need to create a new model that makes the old model obsolete. And
I love that.
That resonated with me so hard because we love to fight in chiropractic. We love to go out, give me my pitchfork, let me start stabbing people. I don't care who I'm stabbing, I just want to stab. and most of the time we're stabbing our own people. We circle the wagons and shoot inwards. And it's very frustrating for me as someone that loved chiropractic so much to find most of my time was fighting chiropractors, not fighting MDs, not fighting other healthcare systems. It was trying to get us to not self-sabotage. And so we created One Chiropractic, and the name One Chiropractic was designed that imagine the power. We already have the best story on the planet, right? The story of chiropractic is so transformational. Next to the gospel, it's literally the most transformational story that exists. But yet we're 126 years old 2 days ago, and the world still doesn't get it. They still don't understand us. And that's because most of our energy is internal and yelling at each other and arguing over what chiropractic is. And so we wanted to do something different. And we thought, man, what happens if we change the way that chiropractors operate with an organization? And rather than having memberships and chiropractors running for positions and having contentious elections and the direction of the organization changes every time a new person gets elected and all the stuff that I watched happen for decades, I thought we're going to get rid of that. And we're going to be an organization that's driven by mission only and to accomplish tasks that no one else is really willing to accomplish, because we're not going to get rich over it and we're not going to get famous doing it. We're just going to do the work that needs to be done. And it's been an amazing journey. It's so rewarding. We've taken on massive issues in the profession. We've helped state associations get executive directors for the first time in the history of their organization. We've taken on big issues like expanding chiropractic to include drugs. We're working on getting chiropractors into the military. And so in February of this year, a great friend of mine, Dr. Stephen Franson, and I were where all great ideas come from, next to it, a pool with an adult beverage, and started sharing with me, this idea of a chiropractic defense council. He's like, imagine if the profession of chiropractic had its own special forces team, that anywhere in the world that chiropractor was under attack, we went and deployed our team and we kicked some major butt. Like, we defended our rights and we ensured people left us alone. And I'm like, dude, I'm in, like, tell me more. So he kind of gave me this vision that he had. And when he got done, I'm like, I'm all in. One Chiropractic was built for this. This is exactly why we created the organization when we did, was to take on projects like this that made such an impact. So we started building it. We started interviewing attorneys. We started interviewing PR firms, lobbyists, researchers, content experts. And the vision was we had all of these people completely educated on chiropractic, ready to go. So the minute something happened, we could respond immediately. At that time, we had issues in Australia with pediatrics and chiropractors. We had issues in British Columbia with x-ray restrictions. A few years ago, we had issues in Texas with the Texas Medical Association claiming chiropractors should not use the word neurological, which would affect our ability to diagnose and examine. And, the profession's been under attack since its inception, really. And we've always been very retroactive. We're always responding. And the time that it takes for us to respond, we oftentimes miss the pertinent time to shut things down. For example, in British Columbia, it took them 6 months to get the revenue together, to figure out where they were going to put the money, how they were going to spend it, to interview the attorneys, to be able to actually respond. And by that point, they missed the key periods of that regulation period to actually stop that regulatory rule. So if we would have been in place at that time, the minute that came out, we could have immediately sent our our attorneys in to do a temporary restraining orders. We could have done all kinds of things that would have been a lot better outcome for chiropractic than what happens when we wait and try to consolidate. So we started building it, started educating people, went to the major players in the profession, pitching them on the idea. But little did we know, again, in February, what the idea was birthed. Then in July, we kind of launched ourselves to the profession with a summit that we did, Out of the Storm, Chiropractic in a Post-COVID World. And then 2 weeks after we launched that summit, the first mandate came down in California. And then we just went into hyperspeed. So as we sit today, we now have 9 attorneys on retainer. We have a PR firm, we have lobbyists, we have researchers, content experts, and we have successfully navigated all of the mandates. Right now, there are 9 states that have actual mandates, 7 of which affect chiropractors. And we have successfully navigated, released a program, a system to where every chiropractor in the United States can still have the right to choose. They will not have to have a vaccine. And so we are working, we have everybody, our defense system is put in place. We are now working in Canada and Australia. Just had a Zoom call this morning with 400 Australians and getting them on board. We're hiring our attorneys there. We're hiring our attorneys in Canada. So we have literally in a month's period of time, we have put a defense system in place. And so now what our job is, which we love people like you, and thank you for allowing this to happen, is we need people to understand who we are. And our whole economic system is about a bunch of people doing a little bit. Our goal is 5,000 people giving us $33 a month. That gives us just under $2 million a year that are completely allocated for the purpose of protecting the rights of practicing chiropractors. And it gives everybody a chance to participate. It also creates a vision of we're finally putting a lot of people under one tent, right? Imagine if we have chiropractors all over the world connected to one organization that's disseminating information on a regular basis. Everyone's staying informed. Everyone's a part of it. That's something that's never happened in our profession ever before. And that's what we're excited about building and doing. And God's just been doing amazing work.
That's awesome. So by the way, guys, I want to show you here. You can go and learn more about the Chiropractic Defense Council. You can go to www.defendchiropractic.org. So what's happening? Because I know I was watching video this morning. There's so many things happening so fast. So can you give us an example of how you guys help a state or chiropractic tech practice in one state? Can you give one example?
Yeah, perfectly. So one of the things we looked at when we first got into this is we were like, okay, man, the first instinct is that we're going to go and we're going to file litigation and we're going to sue the crap out of everyone because there's no way this is legal, yada, 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 right? That's the gut instinct is let's just go to the town square and start, stabbing people. So I'm a very strategic person. Most of my life, I've made every mistake you can make. And so I've learned in my old age that I need to slow down and I need to really survey the situation before I act. I'm just not anyone that's really done things right the first time. So, and so in this process, I'm like, hold on. I'm spending a lot of money. I'm spending other people's money. People are relying on me. I'm talking real big, and I talk big because of the way that I go about things. And so we really stopped and just talked to everyone. We talked to all of the lead attorneys at Robert Kennedy's Children's Defense Fund. We talked to the lead attorneys at Del Bigtree's ICANN. We met with groups like Stand for Health Freedom, Make Americans Free Again. We really looked at what was going on, what was the real direction that we needed to go. And everyone said the same thing. Right now, going after the executive powers of governors is a futile battle. As long as we're under a pandemic, we're not going to be able to sue them and stop this. There are people trying, and I love that. But for us, with our limited resources, to start filing lawsuits in 10 different states, we didn't have it. And to spend that kind of money and have very little control of the outcome, I just didn't feel comfortable doing it. So then we started hiring all of our attorneys, and we really started dissecting the mandates and figuring out what does the mandate actually say? What are the loopholes? Every policy, every rule has exceptions. That's just the way of life. And so we started realizing that all of these mandates left it to the employer to actually decide what they were going to do with their employees. There was no central repository where we were supposed to send vaccine information or religious exemptions or medical exemptions. They left it to the actual employers. So our attorneys really started looking at that saying, okay, so every mandate allows a religious exemption, which they have to by law. Part of our Constitution is the Civil Rights Act that requires a religious exemption to be available. And it also defines within that, it defines what a religious exemption means. It doesn't mean you're tied to a church. It means you have a strongly held belief system in which you operate by. So it's very descriptive. When most states don't have that definition, but the Civil Rights Act does have that clear definition. So there are people that can do religious exemptions that don't even go to church, but they have a strongly held religious belief that they operate by. And in the chiropractic profession, that we clearly have that, right?
Mm-hmm.
We're very adamant about this particular process. So what we did at that point then is we got all of our attorneys together and we developed religious exemption forms that were defendable. Some states are providing their own religious exemption forms. We're recommending you don't use those. For example, in Oregon, the Department of Health introduced what they're calling an exclusion form. So you're excluded from it. The problem is, and it's splitting hairs, but when it comes to legality, you need to know what you're doing. There is zero law, there is zero precedent for the term exclusion. There is for exemption. So our thought is, man, maybe there's a plan here where they're giving you a form that they can clearly reject because there's no substantial support. The state of Oregon doesn't talk about it. The federal government doesn't talk about it. So you have no real support system. So we've released exemption forms for every state where chiropractors are under the mandate. We have forms that talk about your state laws, that talk about your federal laws. And then we've given examples of what you can put as your actual strongly held belief that have been successful with other particular forms. And so we gave a 4-page step-by-step document that walks you through how to have your staff meeting, how to incorporate policies, an informed consent form to protect yourself from anyone accusing you of giving them COVID because you're unvaccinated. You know, the religious exemption forms, the process to go through. If anyone ever challenges you, how to reach out to us so that we can defend you and make sure that your rights are protected. So
that's just awesome. I'm gonna pull your website here. That is just outstanding. Is that a Chiropractic Defense Council website?
Yeah. So if you go to defendchiropractic.org/downloads.
Yeah. Let me show. I'm gonna show actually right here. Can you see my screen?
Yep.
Yep.
So
right
if
here.
you go up into the address bar and then just put / like in your actual.
Oh, got it. Yeah.
Do /downloads.
Oh, cool.
I didn't make it accessible by link for obvious reasons.
Yeah. Perfect. Awesome, man. What a powerful resource, man. Super powerful resource. Are you back? Hey, Bharon, are you there? Hello. I think they may have an internet issue here. We're gonna wait. So anyway, guys, for those who are listening to us here, you can go to www.defendchiropractic.org, and we're gonna wait for Bharon to come back a little bit. I think his internet, my internet is good here. We're still live. I'm gonna wait for a second for those who are. I think. Here you go.
Yeah, I don't know what happened. That was weird. All right, we're back.
Yeah, wait. I'm like, it's coming back.
Yeah, it's been weird. I'm always hesitant now. I feel like with all the work we're doing, people are targeting me, and all of a sudden, like when anything weird happens, I'm like, oh, they're shutting me down.
Here's my internet. So what has been again, guys, anybody who wants to get involved with support chiropractic, just go to www.defendchiropractic.org. And I know you guys having a lot of momentum right now. So many people donating, so many people helping. Where do you see the future of chiropractic? What is the future? I always ask leaders like yourself, what is the future of chiropractic, the role? What it looks like a year from today, in your opinion?
I'm going to break that up in two parts because I want people to understand why we're going about this the way we are. We know right now the world's on fire and people are highly motivated, and people are like, why are you only asking for $33? Why aren't you asking for $1,000? And why aren't you, people, I want to give more.
Yeah.
So I need you to understand the logic here is this is the battle of the day, but there's going to be more battles. We don't exist because of vaccine mandates. We exist because the profession of chiropractic has been under attack since its inception, and we've never very strategically dealt with that. So we're here forever, for the life of the profession. We're not going anywhere. So with that in mind, I don't want to go on a huge fundraising push right now when everyone's motivated. And then as we're fighting battles long term, I run out of money because people were motivated today, and then tomorrow they're not giving, and I have to spend all my time fundraising, not doing the actual work, right? So we strategically said we want a bunch of people doing a little bit forever, like an insurance policy. So the $33, based on the 33 principles of chiropractic, there's a reason why that number is chosen. It's small enough that when you see it on your credit card statement, it's not the thing you're going to cut. Like if you're cutting bills, so we know psychologically there's a certain price point that if you go over it, it starts looking like a major expense. If you're under it, it isn't. And so we're right at that point where it's enough to if we have enough people, it gives us the resources, but it's not enough that you're going to say, oh, I can't afford it, right? So because we want you doing this forever, because if we can continually do this, if I can get to my goal of 5,000, 10,000 people contributing, then that gives me millions and millions of dollars a year. That means I'm bringing in a few $100,000 a month. So when a fire starts, I can write a $100,000 check like that, and I don't have to try to go out and find the money, right? So there's strategy behind what we're doing. So as much as I love people wanting to give more, and there are options. If you go to our page and you click contribute now, we have 3 different options that you can give, but we're really only asking for the $33 because of where we think the profession's going, which was your original question.
Yeah.
So I want you to understand, I go into everything that's going on, and I'm in the thick of it. I mean, I'm talking all over the country. I'm talking to the attorneys that are leading frontline doctors, and I'm right in the thick of it. I'm talking to Del Bigtree's group, understanding and I know all of the conspiracy stuff. I know how dumb this stuff is. I know it doesn't make sense. I know that logic is on our side. I know all of that, right? And it's easy to be on one side and be very frustrated and be very concerned about the future of our world. But I live in a completely different side. Man, I'm telling you, we have the biggest opportunity for chiropractic to take its rightful place in healthcare than we've ever had in our history. Healthcare is in such a flux. And what this vaccine situation is doing is making chiropractors prophetic. I can't tell you how many times I've had other specialties come to me and say, wow, I guess you guys have been right all this time. I'm like, you think? Yeah, we weren't just being, outsiders for the sake of being outsiders. We had reasons for believing what we believed, and now you're starting to see it. And natural immunity and all of these things that we've always been preaching, the facts and science are starting to prove that to be the case now. So when I go into these situations, I go into them with excitement. I don't go into them with fear and trepidation. I go in with confidence, borderline arrogance, like, no, we are going to get this done because it's the right stuff. And here's the best analogy I can give you. I'm a huge football fan. I'm in Columbus, Ohio, so we have the best college football that's ever existed in all of the universe with the Ohio State Buckeyes. And, so a couple of weeks ago, we had our first game against Minnesota, and I actually saw the final score before I had a chance to watch the game. So when I went back and watched the recording, I actually watched it with a lot of excitement. We played like garbage. Like we were losing by double digits into the fourth quarter, and I wasn't scared. I wasn't mad. I was actually super excited because I knew we had won. So everything that happened, like every time we screwed up, I kind of laughed and I was like, all right, that just means we're setting up something huge because I know we win. So it was a phenomenal experience to watch that game. The next week we played Oregon. I didn't know the final score. I was watching it live and I had all kinds of fear and anxiety and we ended up losing. And it was a horrible experience watching the game. I want you to understand, we know how this ends. Like we know how this ends. We know it from history. Tyranny never wins long-term ever. We know that the American people and the world people in general will rise up and they will fight when they're cornered. So we know in history, we always win these types of battles. How long we're in the midst of the process, I don't know, but we know we win. So I need us to go into this believing this is the great adjustment within healthcare that we've been asking for. This puts us to the prime. I have other specialties coming to us, believe it or not, saying you guys are more organized than we are. Can you let us know what your strategies are? Right? So chiropractic is starting to elevate itself, not only with the way we believe in what we've always been saying, but with what we're trying to do with the Defense Council to show organization and to show everyone coming together, because the majority of our profession agrees choice is primary, right? We should have the right to choose. Other specialties are very divided right now because you have half that believe the vaccine is the best thing on the planet and the other half that doesn't want to. So they're looking for those groups that they can go to, and we're that group. And so we are literally aligning with people we would have never aligned with before that are starting to understand us better, seeing our organization skills, seeing our ability to move and to execute. And man, it's incredible. I mean, literally, I'm telling you, the future of chiropractic is so bright as far as I'm concerned. If we can stop arguing with each other, stop fighting with each other, come under one umbrella, and allow us to do the work that we're capable of doing, it's unbelievably bright moving forward.
Awesome, dude. Absolutely love our time. It was a pleasure to hear you, brother, to connect at this level. Absolutely love the mission. Again, guys, for those who are watching, we're going to watch the replay. Go to www.defendchiropractic.org and get the movement going. Support the powerful mission. What I love about before we start recording here, we talk about how chiropractic, the industry in general, sometimes they're bickering, they're fighting, and that's why you open up the one chiropractic. And I'm not a chiropractor too, and I've been involved 10 years, not as long as you have, but I noticed that too. To do this event, then you have to go to this event. What I love about you doing, you're creating this movement, the Chiropractic Defense Council, that's helping everybody, dude. Everybody. That's what I love about that. Any final words for closing the video here, Bharon?
Yeah, well, thank you again for your opportunity. I love the ability to speak to people that I otherwise would not be able to get in front of. So thank you for who you are and what you do. You've been working with chiropractors for a lot of years, helping them do a better job communicating their story. And I absolutely love that. And I'm just going to leave it with this. We at the end of the day, fear is a choice. You can choose to wake up every day afraid of what is happening in the world around you, or you can choose to wake up in belief and decide that I'm going to make a difference today. And maybe in a small way, maybe in just one patient that comes in, I'm going to let them leave with hope, not fear. But I'm asking the same of our profession. We make very irrational decisions when we're fearful. We make very life-changing positive decisions when we're in a state of belief. Believe. This is not our first attack. It wasn't but 60 years ago chiropractors were being thrown in jail for practicing chiropractic. This is not the first time we've been in tribulation. We are a very resilient profession. We will get out of this. What I'm asking is that we learn from our past and imagine how much easier it is if we actually work together. And I'm hoping that I've instilled a little bit of confidence and a little bit of leadership that you can trust in what we're doing. We've already proven we can move quickly. We've already proven we can deliver on our promises. We're getting the backing. We're growing. We now have, over 1,500 contributors. We're well on our way to our goal of 5,000. So what we need is just more people talking about it, more people sharing it with their colleagues. Every Monday, I kick out a video that will update you on what's going on.
Oh, yeah. What do I have? Monday,
Madness.
Monday. What's the third? The Madness.
Yeah.
I wrote it down. Like, oh, that's good. That's really good.
Yep. So we kick those videos out every Monday so that you can stay real time. I answer every phone call. This is all I do every day, all day. And I'm on this mission. We're going to continue to do it because it's right. We're building our team out now because we're getting enough resources where I feel confident to do that so that we can continue to provide real-time information. But we're doing it differently. Our finances will be transparent. Every quarter, we're releasing our finances so you can see what we're spending money on, that it's not going in my pocket, that it's going to the mission. So we're making it as transparent as we possibly can, both with strategy and finances, which is unheard of in chiropractic. Everyone likes to keep that stuff very close because they're afraid. And I don't function in fear. I function in belief. So I believe we can lead, we can bring people together, we can do things differently and create that new model that makes the old one obsolete.
Bharon, you're awesome, brother. Thank you so much again, everybody, for watching us, for just watching us right now. You can learn more about the CDC Chiropractic Defense Council at www.defendchiropractic.org. God bless you, brother. Thanks so much. It was an honor and a pleasure to have you here today. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it, my friend, and we'll see you soon.
See you soon. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.